Breaking right now at 5 o'clock, a driver died in a reported wrong-way crash in southwest Houston. The other driver took off running, and we're live this morning with the crime that happened next.
A new round of heavy rain is on the way today. What you can expect and how flood-prone areas are preparing.
Plus, Walmart making some big changes for tobacco and e-cigarettes. What you need to know about those new rules.
From the KHOU 11 studios, this is H-Town.
The ball away, loose and picked up by Looney into Thompson. The hesitation in the two.
And first at 5 this morning, it came down to the wire, but the Rockets fell in a late night finish in Game 5. Golden State now up 3-2 as the series comes back to Houston.
Do you think the Rockets can win this? Tweet us your thoughts with the hashtag HTownRush. We'll break down the highlights in a few minutes.
Yes,
Ooh.
we will.
Did we see? We did not catch a minute because we all go to bed so early, but I'm sure a lot of folks watching right now.
They tipped at 9:30, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a
good old West Coast game.
I bet that finished after midnight. I don't know. Welcome to H-Town Rush, everybody. I'm Russ Lewis.
I'm Lisa Hernandez. That weather is the big story, though. Again, today, let's check in with Cheetah. Start off our Rush Block.
It is. In fact, the National Weather Service has already decided to issue a flash flood watch. This doesn't take effect until this afternoon, but this is why all of southeast Texas into portions of Louisiana under a threat today through Saturday of flash flooding. Now, we are starting off dry. Any preparations you need to do, any errands that you need to run, do them during the first portion of the day today. By the afternoon and evening, it's going to get really messy, and it's going to stay that way through Saturday evening. Really think about this. There could be citywide impacts from the amount of rain that we're going to see over the next 2 to 3 days. So out the door this morning, only about a 20% chance for a shower. You're taking the kids fine to school. Lunchtime, only about a 40% chance. I still think you'll pick them up, and even if rain is starting to occur, we're not going to have that flash flood threat early. It's going to take several hours, not until about 7, 8 o'clock this evening. Check it out on our future track. This is noon. Again, not until about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Widespread heavy rain. It begins this evening, lasts through Saturday. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast and some of those rainfall totals, Steph, coming up next.
All right, Cheetah, so it sounds like the morning commute is not going to be impacted, but it is going to be a rough ride as you head home. Really concerned about those 60,000 people who are attending the OTC conference at NRG. It's going to be really busy around that area if the rain comes when it does. All right, let's take you to downtown where it's a nice ring around this area. Katy Freeway, you've got Pierce elevated and even East Tex checking in at tip-top speeds, but we do have a huge accident going on in southwest Houston. In fact, all lanes are blocked southbound on Highway 90. I want to show you how you can get around it. Post Oak and Buffalo Speedway, and our Michelle Choi is live on the scene with more details on that crash.
Yeah, hey Steph, we just confirmed with the Harris County Assistant DA who says that this was a wrong-way crash, and the person who caused it, a 19-year-old guy who was allegedly drunk and tried to make a run for it. Now, we're told apparently a Good Samaritan was the one who actually caught him, and he's now in custody. But as you can see behind me, this is still a very active scene. Investigators are trying to piece things together, but here's what we know so far. The crash happened around 2:30 this morning on South Main near Holmes. Police say an officer driving saw a man in a burning car and called it in. Now, firefighters rushed out here, but unfortunately that man, he did not survive. As for the guy who investigators say caused the wrong way crash, well, the 19-year-old apparently tried to steal one of the Good Samaritan's car, but failed, and that's when he took off running. Now, guys, back out here live, we know that man is now going to be facing several charges, including intoxication manslaughter. But all in all, this is just a very sad situation. Back to you.
Absolutely. Glad they got the guy. Thank you, Michelle. Cheetah did mention the threat for more rain today. Looks like it's coming. Schools in New Caney, the whole district closed today and tomorrow because of flood damage there. And 4 Fort Bend County schools are closed today as well. Our team has a look at the damage, and we're starting with Larry Seward. He is in Kingwood.
Some homeowners blame this new construction site near Kingwood Park High School for high water in homes. Some of these houses haven't flooded in decades. Developers of this site say it's the rain's fault.
Families here in Needville just cannot afford any more rain. Big Creek, about 100 yards from where we are right now, crested, believe it or not, higher than it did during Hurricane Harvey. That led to more than 2 feet of water in homes down Trinity Road. Animals had to be rescued, and now to make matters worse, they fear more rain could be on the way.
We've seen several situations where school bus drivers have put themselves and even some of their passengers at risk. Take a look at this video that a viewer sent to us that was taken by her daughter. Terrified kids on a school bus scream as it navigates flooded roads in Porter. New Caney ISD later tweeted out that buses would not be taking kids home because of safety concerns.
Your Rush Block continues with the day's other big stories, starting with calls for the Sandra Bland investigation to be reopened. Former Waller County Justice of the Peace, Dwayne Charleston, is asking commissioners to review the case. That follows a cell phone video of Bland's arrest that came to light this week. The DA believes the original investigation was handled correctly. Donald Trump Jr. subpoenaed to testify in Congress. It comes after the House voted to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt for refusing to turn over the unredacted Mueller report. Uber and Lyft drivers strike ahead of tomorrow's Uber IPO on Wall Street.
Uber originally promised drivers 80% of a rider's final fare. Now it's only anywhere from 40 to 60%.
The one-day strike demanded higher wages.
Ball hit high, deep right field. Owings back, looking up, good, home run!
Michael Brantley hit 2 homers and the Astros beat the Royals 9-0. The Rangers come to town tonight, first pitch at 7:10. That is your Rush Block. Today's big stories from here in Houston and around the world. Let us know what's going on with you. You can tweet us with the hashtag HTownRush.
All right, it's 6 minutes after the Rockets are coming home for a must-win Game 6 against the Warriors because they lost late last night in Oakland. Final score was 104-99.
Yes, Brandy's here with the highlights and your take.
Well, guys, if anyone's up right now, you either didn't stay up for the game, these 9:30 tips are pretty painful, or you did and you're hurting from the lack of sleep and that loss. So Maxine posted on our Facebook page. It was painful at the end, so close. But we want to break down 3 things you should know about what went down in Oakland. First, Kevin Durant, late in the third, he went out with what looked like an Achilles tear. Turns out it was just a calf strain. He had one of those last season, missed 7 days, 3 games. And Rachel Nichols tweeting, this series has gotten way too good for an injury to decide it. It's not clear whether Durant's going to play in Game 6 tomorrow. Number 2, Durant being out opened up a huge opportunity for the Rockets in the fourth quarter, but they couldn't pull it off. And Harden's shooting was a big factor in that. He managed to get just 1 shot in the last 7 minutes of the game. Frank complained the Beard just didn't show up for the fourth quarter. Now, the Rockets wouldn't have been in that situation maybe if they'd gotten off to a better start. They were down 31-17 at the end of the first. The series comes back to Houston now. The Rockets play for their season on Friday. Some fans, though, they're still pretty confident. Shea Serrano tweeted, Rockets in 7, let's go. And his is one of several that said that. So they think, hey, Rockets can pull it out, win Game 6 at home, go back to Oakland for Game 7 and pull out a win there.
Okay.
And if Durant can't play, I mean, that is obviously huge. Don't forget what happened last year. If you remember, Chris Paul went down for the Rockets, and a lot of people think that decided the series last year for the Warriors.
There are so many similarities between last year and this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully a different outcome this go round.
Thank you, Brandy. Let's get to Cheetah right now for the one thing we need to know.
All right, guys, the one thing you need to know is this timeline for the heavy rain. So I've broken this down from 7 a.m. this morning through 9 o'clock this evening. I want you to take note how the rain chances continue to increase. So we go from a 20% chance now under cloudy skies to a 70% chance by your 6 o'clock hour to a 90% chance at 9 p.m. Again, anything that you need to get done before the heavy rain settles in, Steph, it's a good time to do it now before your lunchtime hour.
Yeah, Cheetah. All right, let's take you to the Gulf Freeway where you can see TransStar is trying to maneuver the camera to show you this very active situation south on that Gulf Freeway at FM 1764. They're trying to show you exactly what's going on here. It was listed as a stall, but as you can see, looks like it's turning into a big crash there. Brandy.
Oh, thanks, Steph. It is 5:09 and time for In Other News, stories you'll want to know about before you start your day. Ads on Facebook and Instagram, they are reaching a whole new level of interaction. You see them all the time. They're trying to get you to click. It's okay, we've all done it. But now the app ads let you book appointments. Facebook started testing the feature in December, just rolled it out worldwide. If you are younger than 21 and a smoker, you can't get your fix at Walmart anymore. As of July 1st, it and Sam's Club are raising the age to buy tobacco products to 21. We're talking any tobacco products, and both stores plan to get rid of e-cigs altogether. So they say find a place you love, plant your roots. Say no problem there. Some people get so rooted, they would rather
spend a week in jail than move. A new study for Life Storage interviewed about 2,000 Americans about the stress of moving. We're talking the months leading up to your moving date and then moving day itself. 1 in 5 said it is more stressful than planning a wedding, and more than 1 in 10 said the stress of moving is worse than spending a week in jail. I'm gonna guess that they probably haven't spent a week in jail.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Depending on the jail, too.
Yeah.
Can I-
Turkish prison.
Can I
You
be?
don't want that.
Yeah, I saw that movie. Can I be in solitary? Because if I could do,
Oh, there you go.
I'll take the week in jail if I can be by myself.
A little alone
No
time.
push jail time.
Rather than
Your
move.
family is not watching this, okay? They're like, really?
They know what it was like to move.
We can
so
arrange
they would
that.
agree.
That is true. That is true. Moving's terrible.
5:10 right now is the time. Do you want to make your mama a delicious breakfast this weekend? What if you're challenged in the kitchen? There's a hotline to help you out.
Hello to you, I'm Gail King. Coming right up, Katie Couric on being a cancer caregiver and a new program that's helping patients and their families. That's coming right up on CBS this morning.